Hi, friends. Welcome to Next Step Coaching with Amy Carroll, where speakers and writers take their next step in messages and marketing. Today, I have a surprise guest for you, my friend Mary Snyder. Mary, hey.
I'm so excited to be here, Amy Carroll. It is just such an honor and a joy to hang out with you.
Well, I feel the same. Friends, Mary, if you don't know her, she founded Take the Stage. Mary, tell them where they can find you.
I have a podcast. It's called Take the Stage Podcast, and it is 150 episodes in. Y'all, I mean, I'm a talker, but that even shocks me. But they're short episodes, Amy. They're 12 to 15 minutes. So I keep it
Well,
short.
listen, I listen to Take the Stage. Mary's got good stuff in there. And Mary is another speaker coach, but we love to share our platforms because we kind of specialize. I love to do the individual one-on-one coaching. Y'all come to me for that. But if you like the group dynamic and have some projects you want to work on there, make sure to connect with Mary. Mary, where do they find that?
They can find me at maryrsnyder.com or takethestagepodcast.com.
Okay.
Just if you go to Mary R, don't forget the R.
Okay. And I'm sure if you give Mary your email address, she will tell you about the next group thing that's coming up. But the reason you should want to know Mary and hear from Mary is Mary has a double credential. She has been a speaker, is a speaker, and she also she has booked a lot of speakers. Oh, and I guess a third credential, and she's a speaker coach. So she
Right.
brings all of that background from both sides of it to help you book events. And that's what we're here to talk about today is how do you fill your speaker calendar? Now, Mary and I have been chatting a while before we started recording this for you. And I've been talking to Mary about I'm in a new place because I had Proverbs 31 Ministries feeding me events for years, for which I'm immensely grateful. But now I don't have that anymore, and my calendar's a little sparse. So I asked Mary to meet with us today, and I'm going to learn right alongside you to give us 3 tips that we can start today to fill our calendars for the next speaking year. All right, Mary, take it away.
All right. So tip number 1 is I want you to go back to every event you've spoken at in the last 5 years. I know that's a long time. Amy, I know you've got a list. And so any of
Okay.
you who are listening in, you may not have as large of a list because maybe you didn't have Proverbs. I didn't have Proverbs either, just so y'all know. But you've got a list of people that have booked you or maybe have tried to book you and it didn't work out. I want you to pull all of that back out. I want you to do this. And there's an order to this. And there is a little bit of magic in my crazy. So follow me. Okay. I want you to make a phone call first. If you've got a phone number, and this is what I want you to say. Hey, Susie, event planner. This is Amy Carroll. I was at your March 2019 event, your women's tea. I just want to touch base with you. I'd love to hop on a quick call and let's talk about, I've got some space on my calendar for 2023 and 2024. I'd love to chat with you. And I'm sending you an email too. Click. And then I want you to follow up with an email. The reason you're going to leave that message, Amy, is because nobody answers their phone. Nobody.
It's true. It's really true, especially if your name isn't attached to your number, because I
That's right.
don't.
I
Yes.
don't either. I don't either. So then I want you to send the email. And it essentially is a very short email. It's, hey, I left you a message today. It's so great to reconnect. I loved being with you at your women's tea in 2019. Can we jump on a quick call to just a quick call? That's question mark. Short, sweet, and to the point. You're not asking anything else. Now, if they don't respond, Amy, I want you to wait a couple of weeks and I want you to send them another email.
Okay.
And I want you to continue to do that. And in that second email, or maybe the third, I want you to add the line. Will you help me? I would love to know if there's anyone in your sphere of influence that you could suggest, that you might suggest I follow up with
Fantastic.
to get that calendar filled. You keep doing this. And, you're not going to do it every week. You don't want to be that squeaky of a wheel. But what happens is that when that need finally arises, and it will, they are going to respond. Can I tell a quick story, Amy?
Please do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I met a woman a year ago, and I knew that I had some things that could help her with her speaking. And it was a big nonprofit. And that's some of the things I do. I work with nonprofits. And I reached out to her. She didn't respond. I reached out to her again. She didn't respond. I reached out to somebody else in her organization. They didn't respond. I reached out to her again. This is all over the course of a year. And every time I would remind her of where we met together, what I thought, how much I loved her organization, talked about our time together. So it was always a reminder, and then a mention of what they do. So keeping it up. And I reached out to her last week. It's been almost 12 months. And the response was almost immediate. I would love to chat with you. I've included my assistant. Let's get it on the books. And she was like,
Fantastic.
long lost friend. What happened over the course of those emails is I built a relationship with her, albeit one-sided, but I became a familiar person in her email box because she's gotten 5 emails from me in the last 12 months, enough to where she knew my name. She knew what I was talking about. And I always reference back where we had met and what I was bringing to the table. So
Yes.
and here's the thing, Amy, don't feel like you're a burden. I think sometimes I hear my speakers say that. I don't want to
It
bother.
feels like a lot. Maybe I'm
I don't
too
wanna bother."
much.
No, you're never too much, never too much,
Mm,
but you're not bothering them. You're providing a service.
right.
And until she says, I don't want it, I'm assuming the timing's not right.
Absolutely. And for those of you that are listening that are still feeling a little squeamish, I get it because I've been there. But here's what I want you to think about is not yourself
Mm-mm.
and that contract. I want you to think about your message and
Yes.
how important that message is and how much that message burns on your heart and how much that message has changed you already.
Yes.
And think about the women in that event planner's audience that need to hear your message. And you
So
just keep at it.
so good. Amy, I love that because I believe that when God gives us a message, it's a gift he's entrusted to us.
Yes.
And it's not for us.
Yep.
And we can do one of two things with it. We can either go and share it. And I didn't say that was going to be easy because I spent the first 2 years as a speaker waiting for the phone to ring. I said, well, God's calling me to it. I'm going to wait right here. Nobody called,
Right.
not a soul.
How did that happen, Mary?
And then I started sending out flyers. Remember those in the
Huh?
mail with a stamp on it.
Yeah.
And so God calls us to it, but he wants us to work. We have work to do in this thing we're doing. So
Yeah.
go out there and let the world know about your message.
I just love that. So recap
Number 2.
for us. Oh,
That was
okay.
only
That's
one.
number one. That was
One.
one. Hey, wow. Rich stuff. Okay. Number
Okay,
two.
two. So we're going to reach out to everyone you that you have spoken with before. Now you're also going to do this. I want you to reach out. I want you to pick 20 people, not your closest people, maybe, people that are distantly connected to you. And I want you to ask this question. Now, a lot of my speakers don't like to do this in person. They like to do it via email. Had one do it via instant message on Facebook. She got booked 3 times. Okay, I know. And this is all you're going to say is, will you help me? Will you help me? And then I want you to go down. I want you to pause because typically everybody's going to say yes. Or if you're me, I'm going to go, if I can. And then you
Mhm.
tell them, God has given me this message. They may know your story. If they know your story, you can reference that. I want to share it with as many people as I can get in front of. Do you know anyone that I should connect with? And then you give them ideas. Maybe you have someone that is on staff at a church or connected to someone who's on staff at a church. Or maybe you know someone who helps out in women's ministry. Give them a few ideas because everybody will have someone. Typically, they'll go, well, my sister-in-law goes to a church and she's really good friends with so and so. You go to writing and you ask them, is it okay if I use your name and say you suggested I contact them? Here's what you're doing. Number one is you're creating connection immediately. Number two is you're not asking them for a referral, because I can't refer you if I don't know you. If I've never heard you speak, I can't do a referral.
This
But
is good, Mary.
you're just asking for a connection.
I love
And
it.
and I'm always very clear, because I've had somebody say, do you want me to a referral? I'm like, no, 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 no. You've never heard me speak, so you can't give me a referral. I would never ask you to do that. I just want to know, do you have a name I need to contact? That's
I
all.
love this. Okay, can I tell a story?
Of
So I
course,
did
it's
a
your show.
yeah, I did a version of this and I did it all wrong, and I still got speaking events from this, Mary. So when I first started speaking years ago, I think before I was with Proverbs, I made a spreadsheet. I reached out to people, but listen, at that point, I was such a new speaker. I didn't have a bio sheet, a website. I had nothing, and I asked them to refer me. Oh gosh, it was all wrong. But listen, even with that, I think I got 5 speaking events out of about maybe 25, 30 people. So this is so much better. And if those of you that are listening, if you do it Mary's way, you might get 10.
I had one of my speakers literally sent Facebook messages to people, and she ended up getting bit 3 times. I'm like, with Facebook messages? She goes, yeah, I didn't know all them people's email addresses. I didn't know where to find them. Okay.
Awesome.
Number 3, does anyone know you're a speaker? If I were to go into your social media, because that's how we all know each other now, and if I were to look through your social media, would I even know you're a speaker? Are you telling the world? Now, I know a lot of people right now all of a sudden had great heart palpitations. They're like,
Right.
okay, think about this. Your social media is the one way the world will find you. Whether you're an Instagram person, a LinkedIn person, you're a Instagram, did I already say that? Facebook, TikTok, whatever your I was going to say drug of choice, but social media platform of choice is, make sure that you put in your bio line, speaker. And then do a post. If you have a podcast, because I know your group may have podcasts, are you telling at the beginning and end of every podcast, are you letting your audience know you're a speaker? Hey, audience, just so you know, I don't know if I've let you know this lately, but I'm a speaker and I love to go out and share my message. If you know someone, you know how to reach out to me, give them the information. Remind people, because it doesn't stay top of mind. And then same thing in social media, just do a post. Hey, we got a lot of new people around here. I'm going to do a little bit about me. Let me share who I am.
It's great.
And
It's great.
it just reminds people. So you stay, I'm sorry, y'all, there are things flying here in front of
We're in
me.
the South.
We're in the South. It's the summertime. So those are my top 3 tips in order.
Thank you so, so much. And for those of you who are scared to say you're a speaker out loud, I know, I remember those days, but think about your message and the women who need to hear it. So, Mary, thank you for those tips. Thank you for your time. Tell them one more time where to find you.
MaryRSnyder.com.
Perfect. So look into Mary's programs. We are both here, Mary for the groups, me
Yep.
for the individuals.
That's
And
right.
we hope that you got some tips that you will start implementing today so your message can get out into the world. Bye, friends.
Bye now.